Hi everybody, it's Dandruff with your discussions for Thursday, December 7th, 2017. We begin today with not one, but two corrections. The first one to Monday's video, the Alex Mauer case was dismissed with prejudice, not without. And then in yesterday's video, Chris Lee is a representative of Hawaii, not Florida. It was correct in the description and title, but not in my script. Okay, so moving on to today's story, which is more to do with Star Wars Battlefront II. EA seems to have forgotten the word microtransaction and are calling them MTX instead. Maybe they should talk to 2K about recurrent consumer spending opportunities, but we're going to talk more about our friends 2K later in the episode. EA claims that microtransactions may not return to Star Wars Battlefront 2, and if you believe that, I will sell you a bridge. If you weren't aware, EA has done this before with adding microtransactions to games after their launch. A great example is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I'm sure they would love it to have us believe that microtransactions are not coming back, and then we all go out and buy the game, just to have them quietly put them back. I'm not falling for it, and I'm still not buying it, mostly because EA is trying to not call them microtransactions anymore because gamers know that they inherently come with a negative connotation. And what a treat, because today there are two top stories, the next being Alex Mauer because her story has not stopped. She just won't stop. I briefly talked about this in yesterday's end card, but today we're officially going to go over it because Alex has another court date. Part of her settlement was to not say anything disparaging against Imago Softworks, and while she technically has held up to that, she has been contacting the judge and leaving him voicemails, which is completely inappropriate. Her behavior may not be illegal, but because it's related to the court case, she may be held in contempt of court. It probably hasn't reached the point of jail time yet, but this date could be set to not only lay out the consequences of her actions if they continue, but also to issue her a fine. Alex, if you get a fine, I would like to offer my advice of quietly paying it and then never mentioning this event to anybody again unless it's absolutely necessary. Again, it doesn't matter if you think you had to lie in order to sign the settlement. You signed it and have to abide by whatever the court orders. Speaking of which, the judge doesn't know exactly what's in the settlement because it was done out of court. But once Judge Schiller finds out, it's probably not going to look good for Alex. When do you think this roller coaster ride of drama MCA will be over? Let me know in the comment section down below. For release announcements, we start today with the delay of 3 Ubisoft games, Far Cry 5, The Crew 2, and one completely unknown franchise. A new Tomb Raider game was announced today called Shadow of the Tomb Raider, with Square Enix tweeting this statement saying something new is coming next year, and if you take the first letter of every sentence, it spells Shadow. Coming to PC is a remaster of the first 3 Devil May Cry games, and it should be releasing sometime in May 2018. In update news, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is getting some free DLC tomorrow and introduces a local versus mode so 2 can play at once. Moving on from there, Ryan Reynolds, the actor who played Deadpool, will play the role of Detective Pikachu in an upcoming live-action movie. I'm really upset that it's not Danny DeVito, and let me know in the comment section if you are too. Oculus is currently working on Rift Core 2.0, the software that powers the headset, and this iteration will include 2 new features. Dash, which is essentially a dashboard that allows you to do whatever you want to on your computer in a 3D virtual space, and Home, which allows you to customize that space to match your personality. Moving on, Steam will now report your preferred operating system to developers when you wishlist a game, in order to help gauge interest for porting games to other platforms. This only works if you have one platform selected in your preferences, which you can find in your Steam settings under Store Preferences. There is no option for FreeBSD, but there is one for Windows, Mac, Linux, and SteamOS. Russia has been banned from the 2018 Olympic Games for doping, and Ubisoft has said that they do not plan to remove them from their game Steep's expansion, Road to the Olympics. The officially licensed expansion lets you choose your country and enter qualifiers, but not removing Russia is taking away from the game's realism. You can guarantee that Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games will not include Russia, and other sports games tend to keep up with suspensions and injuries too. How do you feel about Ubisoft leaving Russia in? Let me know in the comment section down below. Then, before we move on to the main topic for today, if you think taking pieces of gear and putting them behind loot boxes is bad, wait until you hear what Bungie did. In Curse of Osiris, the new DLC that just released, some activities that were available before are now locked behind a paywall. These are things like the Prestige Raid, Nightfall, and even one of Ikora's meditations, which were all available before to players who purchased the base game, and now if players want to continue to enjoy them, they have to spend more money. They did this by raising the power level needed to 330. It was previously 300, and without the DLC, you are capped at 305. Apparently, nobody told Bungie they need all new content for DLCs instead of locking old stuff behind more money. And finally today, the contest to make the worst decision in gaming this year goes on, with 2K having to remove some real-life brand branded t-shirts from NBA 2K18. This by itself was a bad idea, to sell trademark logos without permission, but now the shitty part is they have taken away any purchases from players and are not offering refunds. Usually when this sort of thing happens, they discontinue sales and allow anyone who had already purchased it to keep it. Or they issue refunds without question, at the very least giving you store credit. 2K has decided to skip all that and just offer you nothing. Now here's where it gets tricky. These shirts were not created by 2K themselves and instead were created by other users. So what this means is there probably isn't a review process to submit a design, and yet 2K is willing to profit off of a broken system at the expense of their customers. I've got to say, the news around this time of year usually slows down, but instead it's speeding up. Did you buy any of these t-shirts and did you try to get a refund? Let me know in the comment section down below. Full steam ahead, it's time for tomorrow's game releases. For PC, Hello Neighbor, Frosty Nights, Starlight of Aeons, Edge of Existence, No Escape, Unexpected End, Tokyo Xanadu EX+, Bernacle's Shoggoth, Android John 2.1, Phantom Jumper, and EXO Dark Moon. For PlayStation 4, Tokyo Xanadu EX+, and Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. For Xbox One, Hello Neighbor, Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, Paladins, and Demon's Age. For Nintendo Switch, Tennis in the Face. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been News Cartridge. I am Dandruff. I will see you tomorrow. And I really resent gravity. It's held me down my whole life. All right, great show today. We got a little bit of business that we got to cover before we go on to the actual end card today. Got to say thank you to all my patrons. Thank you so much, everybody. I do know that there are some changes happening to Patreon, and I hope I'm not going to lose too many people because it is going to cost a little bit more to donate to me. Oh, well, that's, I guess, the life I'm choosing to live, right? Well, in no particular order, thank you to all of these people. Let's start off with the reading of the names of the list. Thank you to John Steele, Sir Violent Death, Craig Jessup, Daily Dorks, Andre V, thank you, Andre V, Shepherd Gray, RDF, Naruko, Zombie Unicorn, Ratchet3789, Jay Broadfront, Yemto, got your name right, Yemto, Talonfire, Lansby Tossin, Signum, Will Gordon, and John Patz. I'm sorry if I messed up any names. If you need me to reread a name, I will do that. And yeah. Thank you very much, everybody. I also want to say that I know I joke around about it at the end with the Patreon thing about how I love your money. I just think that if I do that, nobody else can do that to me. It'd be like, oh, you only do the show for the money. And you're like, no, I said I only do the show for money. I love that money. Give me that money. like that's what, so I play around with it. If I can be real with everybody, I really do appreciate it. You guys make me really want to keep doing this show even more now. I have monetary drive to keep doing this. It's great. There's nothing about me that can say like this isn't working now, because I feel like I'm actually making some decent money at this, rather than the 20 or 30 or however much money I've made from YouTube monthly. It's really not great making money on YouTube. I'm making so much more money here on Patreon, or over on Patreon. If you are able to donate, thank you so much. If you're not able to donate, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It doesn't matter if you are able to donate. It doesn't matter if you're not able to donate. If you are, thank you. But I'm not going to hold anybody above anybody else. You know, all viewers are equal in my eyes. Just thank you to those who help support me. So, on to today's episode. Some little stuff about today's episode. What is everybody doing now? Okay, well, we all went from remember a little company called Warner Brothers. Remember how terrible they were? They're not the fucking worst anymore. Who the fuck? What is going on? So we got 2K with this recurrent consumer spending opportunities shit. We're pretty sure that they're gonna put loot boxes in Red Dead Redemption 2. We've got Ubisoft, who actually isn't looking that shitty anymore. EA, who closed Visceral and has Battlefront 2 out right now. That's a thing. That's going on. What the fuck? Ubisoft is not the worst of all of this. Warner Brothers is probably like Ubisoft is probably sitting on top of everybody, with Warner Brothers below that. Then we got 2K and freaking EA. What the fuck is going on? EA was at the top of my list earlier this year, like 2-3 months ago. 2-3 months ago, EA was at the top of my list. Like, you know what? EA has had a rough past, but they're changing things. They've got things changing around. They're going a different direction. They don't want compulsory DLC anymore. They don't want all this other stuff. Battlefront 2. And while it's nice for news and everything, I don't like to come up here and bitch about things. I like to have positive news days, but it's really hard to do those. Also, for some reason, those don't get as many clicks. See Tuesday's video with Mega Man 11, which that was mostly good stuff as far as I know. Can't wait for tomorrow. We got purple background. I got my purple cloth up here where you can't see it. I got that ready to go for tomorrow. We're good. I really like the backgrounds or the thumbnails. I know a lot of people are asking for the date in the thumbnail. I don't really like to have it there. I don't really think it would look. I think it would look best without it. And the date is in the first 10 seconds of the show. Every single date is in the first 10 seconds of the show. Look at the published date. It's probably the day before that. So, because I usually upload after midnight. It's the nature of everything. It's because I'm playing WoW and staying up late, and I'm not going to bed early and waking up and getting the show done early like I want to do it. But it is taking me less time to do the show, which is really, really nice. So at least I guess there's that. It's taking me about 8 hours rather than the 10 to 12 that it was before. No joke, it was taking me 10 to 12 hours to do this damn thing. So what else am I covering today? What else? Alex Maurer, stop doing what you're doing. Please, girl, stop it. Stop it, please, honey. Just stop. Just stop. You're gonna get yourself in trouble, like in real trouble. Stop. And then, oh yeah, EA, MTX. I really want to figure out a good way to, if somebody can help me figure out a good way to, like, just tear that apart. MTX, like, oh, I hate that. Like, I'm never gonna call it like. Well, you could just buy some MTX. Like, no, they're microtransactions. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to change the word so that way people get distracted or get fooled. I don't know. That just seems really, really, really scummy to try to change your language like that so people don't hate on it as much. I think that's what they're trying to do. I hate that stuff. Anyway, anything positive for today? I liked that DMC, that drama MCA stuff. I like that joke I made. I was really proud of that. Social media links are over here, everybody. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, the moneymaker. I love your money. Keep giving it that money. It's a joke. So subscribe it up here. Subscribe up here, everybody. Click down here to watch yesterday's episode where we talked about Hawaii representative, not Florida, Chris Lee laying out his plans for anti-loot box law. Alex Maurer stuff. I think we talked a little. I don't know. Whatever. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Friday. Yay. Bye.